Hey, what's going on, guys? If you're new here, just a quick recap. I'm moving into a new home and we're on a mission to make this place into sort of like a enchanted fairy tale cottage hobbit holy sort of fantasy vibe. The first steps we're taking is we're going to be painting the walls, and we're going to be doing some stuff with natural wood colors for like the trim. However, it's really expensive to change out the wood trim. It's also really expensive to lime wash the walls like we want to. So the first thing we looked into is maybe trying to do a fake lime wash effect. You can do this with interior paints by buying two different shades of paint of a similar color and blend them with a masonry brush on the walls to look kind of like lime wash. Also, we found a tutorial, well, several tutorials on how to make regular painted trim look like wood. I'm skeptical. So here we go. I have here just a piece of regular drywall. I'm gonna test out the faux lime wash effect. I've got my two tone colors of paint, and I've already prepped the surface by cleaning it. So yeah, let's see if we can get this effect and if it looks good. Me and my wife can't really decide what kind of color we want to use on the interior yet because there's so many cool colors, but we're going to start with a little bit more of a monochromatic theme and do like a grayish, and we might go warmer from there depending on how this looks. I mean, we do want to go full hobbit hole, but at the same time, we don't want it to be too yellow. So this is just your basic interior latex paint, and I got them at Sherwin-Williams, and the two colors are Chat Room and Techno Gray. What you want to do is pour them simultaneously together and sort of make an even 50-50 mix, like so. Before I get started, one thing I also want to mention is that you need to use, for some reason everyone says to get a masonry style brush. It's this big, huge, thick brush. It's got soft bristles to help blend it in, and the technique I'm going to use is basically, well, here, I'll just get started. You want to just dip it in at just the tip there, just the tip, and then just back and forth like this. Don't mix the colors, and then you're gonna go back and forth and do like this X style pattern. Actually, it's going on pretty good. Just random brush strokes everywhere. There. So we'll let that sort of dry and kind of see what happens. Okay, so the fake lime wash is dried. Honestly, I can barely tell that there's like two different tones to this thing. It looks all like one solid color, which is not what you want. I have to go back to the store tomorrow. I have to rethink my colors. I think what I'm gonna do is keep the lighter color and then add a much darker color that's contrasting and different, maybe a little bit more beigeish? More beigeish. Excuse me, do you have any beigeish color that I could buy from you? That's my Sean Connery. Anyway, we will have to do this all over again. Good stuff. So I hate to do it, but I gotta call bullshit on this one. I went back and got another sample, which cost me more money. That was a darker paint. It gave me a lot more texture, I'll give it that. However, there's all this feathering going on. I mean, I really think this technique is a bust. It doesn't look right. It doesn't look like the real thing. I'll have to do this entire step process again to go a lot more beige or a lot more warmer with the color. By the time you get what you want, you're going to end up with something that looks similar to this, but you're also going to be a lot more money in the hole, because as much as I like to say, yeah, they're samples, they're not free. They're only free if you get their regular base paint, which is a satin. You have to do this in a flat paint. Well, since that technique and that color was a bust, what we're gonna end up doing is we're gonna go with a more warmer color, and we're gonna do an actual lime wash, because it is just too much of a headache to try and figure out through so many different paint samples what color works best to get what we want, versus just looking at this brand and going, okay, this is what it's showing that it's gonna be. this is what we can expect, and we can trust that. So it's easier to just cough up the money and go with what you know you're getting. If I were to just buy unstained wood and stain it and put it up into the new house, I know that's gonna cost a lot of money versus taking the trim that's already there and trying to just make it look like wood. I've seen tutorials and videos online on YouTube of people doing it. My question is, how artistic do you have to be to really pull that off? I also want to know how much time it's going to take, how much money it's going to cost to, I guess, do a base layer of paint and then layer that layer on top of another layer. It seems like a lot of steps. So in order to find out the right kind of look and shade and color of stain that I want to try to fake, I ended up getting a white shelving board because they're already pre-primed, and I got 4 different colors of interior latex paint to test which one looks the best with the color of gel stain I used. The 4 colors I picked for that are Impala, Cowboy Suede, Natural Cork, and Autumn Surprise. All right, so you can see I'm holding a baggie of just shit, and this is faux wood tools that I ordered that allow me to put texture in the gel stain that I'm about to use. I can't wait to use them myself. It's got like teeth here. I got a hickory colored gel stain. People say it works. It's definitely for wood, but it says ideal for wood, metal, fiberglass, and more. So here's hoping it'll work on my, I guess, satin latex paint. I did satin. I didn't want it to be matte because this is supposed to imitate stained wood with like a lacquer, just a slight lacquer, and I'm hoping that it looks like actual wood in the end. So I've opened up my gel stain. I shit you not, this looks like chocolate pudding. This is fascinating. I didn't realize it was going to be the consistency of a snack pack. But I have here just a typical stain brush. I'm going to use that to apply it along here, and then we're going to use our fun little gizmo to make wood grain patterns. So I hope this works. This is interesting. It's so thick and gooey. All right, here we go. One thing I'd also like to note is make sure you have a well-ventilated area, that you wear proper gloves and eyewear if you think you're going to be slinging it around in your face. And when you're finished applying this stain, make sure you do a long brush stroke in the direction of the wood so it mimics the wood grain. Time for whatever this thing's going to do. They say just kind of drag it and rock it back and forth. Here goes nothing. I'll be honest, I was pretty amazed at how quickly this little tool can make the wood grain patterns in the trim. However, it's not an exact science, and it's definitely very, very hard to make it believable. So I spent a lot of time finagling with it, going back with a brush and maybe trying to spread it out, and then I would reapply the stain and recover it and then try again. I also tried using the roller tool, which was pretty worthless in my opinion. I'm gonna be honest, I spent a long time on this, and even though I was happy with the results in the end, it's a lot of a learning curve, especially if you're not artistic. I mean, I consider myself a very artistic person, and this, even for me, it took some time to really get the hang of it. I kind of impressed myself. It came out really good. I think I'll use this technique on certain things like doors and other flat pieces of trim. My favorite color was Natural Cork. So yeah, I'm 50-50 on this one. I got a couple more weeks before we close, and then I'll have a whole week to work on the interior of this house before we move in. So I don't have a lot of time, but I'm trying to save money. I'm trying to see what the best result is, and I'm also trying to save you guys some time and trouble by making the mistakes for you. So yeah, wish me luck.